All right, guys, welcome back to the Morning Spill. We got Trey here as always, Danny here, and then myself, Jacob. All right, so I think we need to kind of capitalize of KD leaving again, right? Leaving the Warriors. Trey, how do you feel about it?
I hate it. Not just because I'm a Golden State fan, but that is a big part of it. But I hate it because what's the point? You don't need to leave something good. You have a good thing going there. Sure, you lost, but you were out when you guys lost. Because it's arguable. But if KD was there, do you think the Raptors would have won in a sense? Like, it would have definitely been a way different story. There was no reason for him to leave. Like, it's a little emotional for me, you know. What's it called? What was the point in leaving? Because you had a good thing going. You surrounded yourself with good players. You got to show that with a good team, you are a solid player. Because he didn't get to show. He showed how good he was with OKC. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't have good pieces around him. Westbrook was a ball hog. Steve Adams was good defender, but didn't compliment anybody. So I just feel like you had a great team around you. Why would you just leave for something that's getting rebuilt? Because, that's just how I feel about it.
All right, Danny?
I think it's not weird timing, but I just feel like he finally got what he needed, which was the validation of they need him. Because the Warriors, without him and their aging bench, they definitely needed a little bit of a push. I mean, they lost to the Raps. The Raps are not as good as the Warriors. He finally got what he wanted in terms of public perception, and now he's bolting from it, which is kind of strange. But at the same time, if he wants to be able to just get the monkey off his back of you only did it because you played with the greatest shooters of all time, then I can appreciate it. Because then if he gets it done, especially coming off of an injury, then that's some GOAT shit. Straight up. How do you feel about it, Jacob?
I like it. I like it because he gets to start. He gets to start new in a sense. He gets to go to another team where he doesn't have those all-star shooters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if this past series proved anything, was that the Warriors kind of needed KD. Because if you want to argue the point of, well, if we had KD, we would have won, then you needed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like it in a sense because he's almost dissing the fact that oh yeah, you need me? Well, too bad, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And he gets to start his career. Hopefully, no chip on the shoulder, he gets to start his career. People can stop giving him so much shit and let him just play like he wants to. Just let him play.
Yeah.
So now that he's going to the Nets, expectations on how the Nets do without him for the first year and then with him when he comes back. How do you feel about it?
I think they should. The first season, they should still be winning 40 games. Because, you have Kyrie there. You have DeAndre Jordan. You already have Allen there. That's a good starting team right there as it is. Play as if KD is on the bench kind of thing. Because, he's out the first season, so he's not going to be there. And then see how you do without him. And then that will show if he's needed the following season. Because, let's say they do win 40 games. That's not great, but it's not the worst thing that could happen. But then, boom, what if they win 50 games? They win at least half their games and stuff like that. And then the next season when KD comes back, they need to do better than what they did. Because they're coming back with a good defender, a good shooter, and the perfect all-around player. And then, that's about it. That's all I got to say about that.
First season, they're going to be fine without him. They're going to win 50 games. That Nets team is stacked. You got Kyrie, you got Spencer Dinwiddie as his backup, would probably start on in my opinion, half the NBA he would start for. He's a shooter. You got Joe Harris, who is amazing, dude. I think he's a top 3 shooter, pure shooter in the NBA right now. He can catch, shoot, come off screens. You got Karis LeVert. Everybody talks about D'Angelo Russell because he was a replacement All-Star. But he wasn't the best player on that team last year. It was Karis LeVert until he had his knee injury. He was the best young player on that team. And then he got injured, and then D'Lo's usage rate went way up, and he got all his volume numbers. He's still great, but Karis LeVert was the best young player on that team. They still have him. They still have Jarrett Allen, who's going to be amazing this year with Kyrie. He's gonna catch so many lobs. He's basically gonna be what DeAndre Jordan was, in my opinion. And then you got DJ still back there for some depth. So I think they're still gonna win like 50 plus games, even in that stacked division. And then you add KD on it. I think KD takes kind of a dip, but you add KD on top of that. I think they're legit contenders when he comes back. I think they could push for 60 wins. But that's just saying now, because a lot could change. Their whole, they could have 14 torn ACLs. You know. So yeah. Your take on it, Jacob?
Well, I'm going to keep mine short and sweet. I think without them, they get 50, 55 wins. I think they get. I think they win first round. They go second round. Potentially lose, depending on who the matchup is. I think it can be a coin toss. Katie comes back. I think they go 55, 60 games. I think they make it for sure to the Eastern Conference Final. And then I think from there, it's depending on who they're paired up with in that time, because that's going to be 2 years out. So, you know, signings, drafts, trades, you know, all that can happen. So depending on what the other teams do, you know, it could prohibit to an extent how they do. It ultimately just lines. It depends on how their schedule lines up too, like how many quick wins they can get out of the way. But I think once playoffs hits, I think for sure Eastern Conference Finals, and then depending on who the West puts up, I mean, if it's still the Warriors, like we think it's going to be the Warriors after Clay comes back, then I think they are going to clash, and I think it's going to be a great series, a great series. So yeah, I mean that's my take on it. So, well, guys, thanks for joining. This was the Morning Spill. Hope to see you next time.
Be out. For the record, D'Lo, I love you and I wanted you.